Are you ready for the best grind in Elder Scrolls Online Update 29? It's normal mode Black Rose Prison. Now I'm going to show you how to do this quickly, easily, and efficiently. This video will cover spawns, pulls, etc., and also some general tips on how to get the most out of this grind and do it the fastest. We were averaging around 3.5 million experience points an hour with suboptimal setup, and you could nearly double that with boosts, gear, and memorizing the spawns. Factor in the Jester's Festival double XP event. This is going to be a great time to grind. Timestamps are below, so if you wish to skip ahead, look in the description. Please like, subscribe, turn alerts on, and consider becoming a member so I can produce more Elder Scrolls Online content. The grind location is in the southeast corner of the map. What you're going to want to do is park yourself right on top of a way shrine that's not very busy, so when you leave the instance you can go back right away. Park yourself on a way shrine, look in the southeast corner where Murkmire is, and get zoned in. Make sure it's on normal. We get zoned into the arena here, you can walk down the path. I'm going to take some time to go over the enemies and the spawns that you'll encounter. You and your partner will want to face opposite directions, north and south, while the spawns will primarily come from the north, south, with some east. It is very important that at least one person in your group has the ability to pull in mobs. Some classes can do this, but the first ability in the Fighters Guild, Silver Bolts, can be morphed into Silver Leash, allowing any class to pull in mobs. I highly recommend that both members of the group get a pull, as it will greatly speed up the XP gains. So what you're going to do is the first 4 rounds on normal, which have 3 ways per round, then you're going to reset it, exit the dungeon, flip it to vet, back to normal, and teleport back again. Some things to note on the enemies you'll face. Top left is a flame Atronach. Those do not grant XP. They throw a little flame thing at you, doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and can mostly be ignored. On the right you have a foot soldier. You can chains them in or let them come to you since they're melee. Bottom left you have an archer. This is the primary thing you need to chains. It can be stunnable, it can be changed, and you don't want to go run over there wasting time. So this is your main focus of chaining and pulling things in. Bottom right is a power-up boost. So there's no score here, we're not going for score, so feel free to grab the healing, the defensive, whatever you want. Grab them boost every round if you need to. Next up we have the heavy hitter mobs. What I'll say is, save your ultimates for these guys, not the little ads. On the left-hand side, we have the 2H. Use these 2H abilities, two-handed abilities. The biggest one here is the uppercut. Be aware of this as telegraphed, because if you get caught lifted, you might die just because of this. Next, we have the sword and board. Does some Dragonite skills, but also kind of like a reverb bash animation. Another one that you can get stunned, flame lash, and killed instantly. We primarily save our ultimates for the sword and board because it's very high defensives and takes a while to get down. And then last, we have the mage that will do a channel attack. They also can't be pulled, stunned, or changed in, so this one is a bit tricky. You're going to have to find who it's aggroed on and then run to the opposite end. That way it pulls to the center. You're not always going to be able to do that, but that's the ideal situation. Time to get this party started. First thing to note is, if you zone in and activate the initial start of the round and your partner is behind you and gets locked out, they will teleport in automatically. Round 1, very simple here, 3 spawns. It's basically an introduction to the mechanics. Archers, sword and board, 2H, very simple. What you want to do here is save your ultimate. If you have 2 of them, save one person's for the 2H and another's for the sword and board, as they have the most regen. Round 1, spawn 1, you're going to get north 2 foot soldiers, 1 archer. South, 1 foot soldier, 2 archers. Remember, you primarily want to pull just the archers. So pull them in, let the foot soldiers come in there, and big AoE cleave damage is your best bet to get this down as fast as possible. Spawn number 2, north you're going to get 2 archers, east you're going to get a 2H heavy, remember it can't be pulled, look out for the uppercut, and south you're going to get 1 archer. So deal with the 2H, if you have an ult, great. Otherwise, just do big AoE to get the archers down and then focus single target on the 2H. Last spawn up, you're going to see 1 archer north, 1 sword and board with the stun heavy attack, and then 2 archers south. So someone needs to get those archers in right away. This is a nice time to use your other ultimate for the other person, especially on that sword and board. I like the Storm Atronach because it lasts so long, so I can get almost 2 rounds out of the thing. Second round up, the only thing that really changes here is progressively getting harder and harder mobs and an introduction of the mage, the caster that I talked about earlier. First spawn, round number 2, north you're going to get 1 foot soldier, east you're going to get 1 archer, and then south you're going to get 2 archers and a mage caster. So remember, if they're doing the channel, you want to see who they're focused on and then kind of block back, see? And that will kind of put them in the middle. We didn't get it this time, so they do this nasty channel. You can eat it or go bash and interrupt it, but the problem is if you don't center them right away, it really slows down the pull. So it'll come with time and experience getting this right. Next up is just a lot of AoE trash mobs. North, you're going to get 2 foot soldiers, 1 archer. East, you're going to get 2 foot soldiers. And south, 2 foot soldiers and 1 archer. I would hold ultimates here because you're going to need them for the next spawns. Last wave of the round, north 2 archers, east 1 sword and board, south 2 archers. What you're going to want to do is change them in right away and then drop a heavy hitting single target ultimate on the sword and board heavy. Focus all the damage on there and do a lot of AoE, and it should go down pretty quick. Round number 3, and it's more of the same. The only thing that changes on this one is each spawn has a heavy or 2. So I would not use an ultimate on the first one and then rotate on the second spawn and third spawn. Spawn number 1, you're going to have 2 archers north, 1 2H east, and 2 archers south. Pull them archers in, let the 2H come to you, and then just AoE like usual, get them down. Spawn number 2, and north you're going to have 1 archer, 1 caster, and south 1 2H, 1 archer. Again with the archer, try to pull them back before they do their channel so you can center everything in the middle. Last spawn of the round, north you're going to have 1 archer, 1 caster, east you're going to have 1 sword and board, 1 archer, and then south 1 archer. Chain the archers in quick, and then watch the AoE channel that the mage does, and try to get it centered if you can. This round is just an escalation of the mobs and a lot more heavies, so ultimate rotation is going to be key to get this done quickly. This round just a lot of heavies, so the first spawn you're going to have 1 2H to the north, 1 2H to the south, and 1 archer east. Pull the archer in, let the 2H come to you, see if you can pepper them some range before they get there, and just do as much damage to both of them at the same time as you can. Next spawn up, and we have a mage and an archer to north, 1 2H coming in east, and then south, a mage and an archer as well. So try to make sure that mages get centered if possible in the center so you can AoE cleave it all down. Last spawn up, and we got north a sword and board, east an archer, and then south a sword and board and archer. So a lot of sword and board here. If you have an alt, dump it. If you have 2 of them, dump it, because this is the last thing. Empty the tank here. That completes the grind. You can exit as soon as those 2 sword and boards are dead. Go in group and hit leave instance, T key on PC by default. When you're back at the Wake Shrine, make sure to swap to vet and back to normal again to quickly reset the instance. We were able to do these runs in less than 5 minutes, and the more practice you get, the faster they'll go. But that's not it. I want to give you some helpful tips, and we'll start with skills that will make this easier. Long-lasting ultimates like Atronach for the Stork, that's really helpful. Orbs in the Undaunted skill line, that way you can get resources back to each other. Soul Trap, That's another one from the Soul Magic. And then 2 damage AoE ones that you can use, Stam, Steel Tornado, and Magic Pulsar. Or you can go in your class kit for those. Some helpful gear tips, Ring of the Pale Order. I don't even have this, but self-heals are amazing. Vicious Ophidian and False Gods. Those are both Stam-based sets. They give resources back and a little bit of speed on kills if you're using Vicious. And then the Training Trait. You want to pair this with another 5-piece. Make sure it's training. If you're going to do this and you got your handle on this, you want to maximize those XP per second. Next up, some general tips, and that's picking the right class. I think something with a strong self-heal and AoE. That's why I chose Stam Sork for Crit Surge, since I don't have the Ring of the Pale Order. It's so massive AoE. It's really, really good. Same with the Magic Sork. Also, don't forget to grab those XP boosts if you got them. Another thing, if you've done VMA and tons of these other things, preload the damage. So buff before, put your AoE ground effects down. As they spawn, it will go down a lot faster. Also, rotating ultimates, so you and your partner, battle buddy, should be able to talk about, hey, you get this 2H this round, I get this mage this round. It'll go a lot faster as well. And that's it. That's a guide. Jester Festival coming around the corner. Massive XP. So the champion point change would be a bit confusing. But hey, we can get them a lot faster. So this is what I'll be doing. Especially leveling. I think I have 2 characters, 3 to level at endgame. I want to get them to endgame. Get 18 characters maxed out. So I hope you enjoyed this guide. Thanks for commenting on the previous video. Letting me know you wanted this. Like, subscribe, turn them alerts on, and consider hitting that join button. Becoming a member so I can do more Elder Scrolls Online content.